up and welcome back, everybody. Today is a great day. We got right here my permits for crocodiles, caiman, alligators, elapidae, and viperidae. So first thing we did, boom, we bought a baby smooth fronted caiman. This little guy's in here, but you guys aren't going to see him, not for a little bit. The first thing we got to do is change out the water in this waterland tub. Now check this out. And this is where this baby smooth front is going to be living, right in here. Now this water I put in here just to make sure it was watertight a couple weeks ago, but this cage has been doing great. It's holding water. So what we're going to do is we're going to drain out this old water. We're going to put some new stuff in. And then, since we have city water here at my facility, we're going to add some of this water detoxifier. Now, what this is going to do is remove all the chlorine from the water. Now, it doesn't matter if you're keeping fish or if you're keeping crocodiles or turtles. You want to make sure the water has no chlorine in it. So we're going to add probably about 1 capful of this, right? And for those of you who have not seen the snake room in a long time, this is what it looks like. We have built this double door that is required by Florida Fish and Wildlife. We have redone the floors, painted, sealed. We've added a bunch of new cages, waterland cages. We've painted, we've done trim. We've added all these vision cages. And this right here is more than enough room for the start of my collection. Now we're just starting to get a lot of the wiring up. If you guys want to check it out, boom, that's what it looks like. Look at that, son. Beautiful. We have LED white lighting inside the cages because it's a lot better for filming. And since the temp in this room stays at around 85, 86 degrees at all times, we don't really have to worry about the snakes getting heat from the bulb. That's why we're going to use LED lighting in these cages. It is not bad for the snakes. It is not harmful whatsoever. So this right here is what some of our snake setups are gonna look like. We're actually going to Orlando tomorrow to pick up my first venomous snake. Now my first crocodilian is this smooth fronted baby caiman. Now there's a beautiful, beautiful hypo where I got this guy from, and I think I'm gonna go back and get him. But if some of you guys haven't seen, this right here is my 300-gallon tub for my fish. But if you guys would like to see me transform this into a crocodile or caiman enclosure, comment down below. We got some cichlids hanging back there and the red tails in their cave. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. We're going to suck this water out of this waterland tub. We're going to fill it up with some more water. We are going to dechlorify that water. And then you guys are gonna see our beautiful baby caiman. Not just yet, but soon you'll be able to see. This guy, let me tell you what, there was probably around 200 to 300 baby caiman where I just came from. So I definitely got one of the nicer ones. Look at that. I mean business, baby. Let's go. All right, we got all of that water out. Now, it's time to add some more. Yee-hoo! Time time, baby, let's go. Now this black waterland tub is gonna be absolutely perfect for this little guy. It's gonna be nice and dark and secluded. He is gonna feel right at home here at Stone's World. Over here on this side, he's got a little mulch spot. We just got some cypress mulch and a heat lamp. That's all this guy really needs. This enclosure is quite large for such a baby caiman, so we'll probably end up putting 2 of them in here down the road in the future. But for now, we're gonna start off with this cute little baby Snyder's dwarf caiman, aka smooth front. We just put some heat bulbs inside of these heat lamps. We're gonna move them off to one side of the enclosure. That way one side can get really hot and the other side will stay a little bit more cool. And then if he really wants to cool down, he can hop over here in the water and get really, really cooled down. Now, an important part about these heat lamps is keeping them away from the wall. You want to keep them as far as you can from a wall, so that way you don't start a fire. Also, if you're working with a wood top, a wood enclosure like this, you want to be careful not to put your heat lamp right on the wood. It could start an ember, it could start a fire, so just keep it directly on your steel panel and you should be just fine. And right there, for Florida Fish and Wildlife standard, we got dangerous reptile. Woo! Not big, but guess what? Doesn't have to be, just has to be there. I've been working with crocodilians and venomous snakes since I have been 12 years old. I am now 23, so that is 10 going on 11 years I have been working with these animals. Now, if you guys are not willing to work for 5, maybe 10 years to work with dangerous animals like this, then you probably shouldn't be at all, because it takes that amount of time to basically understand these animals and just to be aware about how dangerous these guys are and what to do. So for the past 10 years, I have been working to obtain my license for crocodiles, caiman, gators, and venomous snakes. I have had to document over 1,000 hours of husbandry, handling, and care with crocodilians in order to obtain my permit to keep them as pets myself. Now, let's get straight to it. We're gonna show you guys this caiman right now. We're gonna unbox him right now. Let's get to it. It's hot in here. All right, rubber bands off. Smooth front's coming out. All right, so what I'm gonna do, there's some newspaper in here. I'm just gonna go ahead and grab this newspaper. Pull this stuff out. Now, I'm filming by myself. I got one hand, so this is a little hard, but we're gonna make it happen. Let's see if we can get a peek at him. Well, yeah, a little smooth front. Now, this caiman does not have a name yet. So if you guys, once you see him, if you guys want to comment down below a name for this baby caiman. Ooh, look at him. Look at him, cute little guy. Now, I don't want to get bit while filming, so I'm going to put the phone down for 1 second. I'm going to grab this guy behind the neck. Then you guys can get a closer look at him inside of my hands. Guys, look at this. A beautiful baby smooth-fronted caiman. Now what I'm going to do, ooh, look at his pattern. Now, they probably had about 200 to 300 baby smooth front caimans. I got this little guy from a reptile wholesaler named Strictly Reptiles. Shout out to my guys over there at Strictly. And they hooked me up with this beautiful baby smooth front. Now this looks a lot like a dwarf caiman, but it's very, very hard to tell. Right where my pinky is, if you count the number of scales, that's one of the only ways to tell the difference between a smooth front and a Cuvier's dwarf caiman. But look at that. In absolute beauty. Look at that camouflage on him. Now this guy, he's been drying up in my car for about an hour, so we want to get him into this enclosure as soon as possible. We're just gonna dip him in the water to where he feels secure, and then we're just gonna back right off. Look at that. Finally, guys, I have a baby caiman in my collection. Just the start of my collection. He's the first, but definitely not the last animal we're gonna have here at Stone's World. Absolutely beautiful. Now, it's very, very important to remember, once you first acquire an animal, do not want to handle it too much. Now, we want to let this guy be. We don't want him to hiss. We don't want him to thrash. We want this little guy to accept this waterland tub as his new home. But check it out, guys. An awesome baby smooth-fronted dwarf caiman. Now, like I said, if you guys have any name suggestions, put it in the comments down below. And we'll go ahead and we'll name this little guy a name that one of you guys picks out. We don't know if this is a male or a female caiman. Now, he's very, very, or she is very, very small to tell at this age. We're probably gonna have to wait to around 2 or 3 years old to where we can properly sex this baby caiman. Okay, guys, we have successfully completed this caiman setup. He's got water, he's got lots of it, he's got land, he's got hot spots, cold spots, dry spots. He is gonna love it here at Stone's World. All right, guys, now it's day 2 after I got this baby smooth-fronted caiman. And listen, let me tell you, I love this guy so much. I love crocodilians so much. I went and bought another one. So this little guy is actually the original caiman I was looking at before I bought this little guy over here. Now this one, he's actually a lot lighter in color and a little bit bigger, and I really regretted not getting him, so I drove back down to Broward County, Florida, and I bought another one of these guys. We'll take him out for you guys right now. All right, we just got the second caiman's enclosure all set up, water changed. Now, we're gonna pull this bad boy out. Look at that little cutie. All right, guys. Check this out. Look at this beautiful baby caiman. Like I said, this one is a little bit bigger. He's got a little bit more girth on him, but his colors are absolutely beautiful. Ooh, let me tell you what. This is a feisty little guy right here. He's had about an hour-long car ride, so we're gonna go ahead. We're just gonna put him inside his new home. You guys can hear him making that little distress call, that little, oh, oh, oh. That is a little distress call because these guys are so young. They're young enough to call for their mother to come and help. Look at the colors on this one. Look at his head. Super, super orange. Now look at this one. And then come over here and look at that baby. He's got some sharper scoots, but the colors on this guy are just insane. He looks like a baby alligator. And we're just gonna add a little bit of this prime. Mix that in there. Caiman, let's go.